Hey everybody, welcome back to Chortle Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Jake, and with me as always, the Stream King, the Far Cry Guy, the man who may cry devil, and the man who conquered fear, Steven.
Yeah, I conquered. I only played the first game. I didn't play any of the expansions yet. I haven't gone through 2 or 3, so like I won the fear battle, but not the fear war. Also, I found my sunglasses. So the man who found his sunglasses.
The man who found his sunglasses, Steven.
That's my favorite nickname you've ever given me.
There you go. How you
really,
doing, buddy?
I gave it to myself. I'm exhausted.
It's been a week.
It has.
I feel really good because I have been building up. This past weekend was the last wedding I had on calendar for at least 2 weekends, which doesn't sound like a lot. But when you've been shooting weddings like back to back for a while, like having 2 weekends, quote unquote, I'm using quotes here, off are awesome. And I say quotes because one of those weekends I'm going with Steven to Disney, and that's going to be
coming.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's just not it is an off week, but like we're going to be doing stuff.
You're never off when you're hanging out with the man who found his sunglasses. What? I put my sunglasses on.
I love it. That's great. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chortle Cast, the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about video games, TV shows, movies, anime, whatever the heck we want to talk about. We got a great show for you this week. Light news week. Really light. Like our first news story is about the PlayStation 5 box. Yeah, it's here, ladies and gentlemen. It's there. That's how exciting.
We can confirm.
There's a box. It comes in a box, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about Ubisoft changing the Ubisoft Play into Ubisoft Connect, I think is the right word. I told you.
Ubisoft, you Play Plus to Ubisoft Connect is what it is.
There you go.
I've got the article in front of my face.
That's what it is. And then we're just going to have a general chat. We're going to hang out. We're going to catch up a little bit on what we've been playing and watching, which has mostly been Ghost of Legends. Ghost of Legends. But, there might be some other things they fly in there. You never know. But anyway, let's just jump right into it. Let's just start. Let's get this out of the way. Media now has PlayStation 5. There are PlayStation 5s out in the wild, and all we know is that it comes in a box. For part of the embargo structure, for whatever reason, media like IGN or Kind of Funny, or just, I'm sure there's a lot of influencers that you may or may watch have gotten their PS5s. All they are allowed to show at this point is the box, right? I've only watched like 1 or 2 videos, and I couldn't really tell if like they're showing you the box, but like it's been opened. Like, they've already pulled the system out. I assume they're not being, all I'm saying, I'm not even going to say it because it would probably bite me in the butt later. I'm just going to say it anyway. All I'm saying is if I was handed the box and it was like, hey, you can only show the box, but like don't open it yet, I would be like, okay. And I'd open it. And then
Jake's breaking that embargo real fast.
I wouldn't show nobody nothing, but like I ain't gonna wait. You know what I mean? So anyway, we really got
never send us stuff, Sony.
That's why I stopped, and I was like, I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm going to say it anyway. So when I sign something, I can be legally bound, and then they just have to trust me. But anyway, obviously, we did not get one. That did not happen for us. They called and were like, "Do you want one?" And I was like, "You know what? We'll wait. We don't want to take the spotlight away."
Jake was like,
anybody else.
You know what? I got to be honest. If you send me this box, I will open it. I'm sorry, I cannot, on good conscience, receive this PlayStation 5. Thank you, Sony.
Pretty much. I fungled that real hard. So no. But yeah, we don't have one. But anyway, number one, this is how light the news cycle has been this week. But number 2, this is just more of a PSA than anything of just next week. Things are going to be popping off left and right. Like next week's probably going to be crazy. Maybe not from like a news standpoint, but like there's going to be tons of, I'm sure, gameplay and reviews and stuff. Steven, you mentioned to me earlier, we have one more podcast before we will have our systems.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Target Don't let us
Target.
down. Steven,
Don't be a dick.
in hindsight, like, look, if we could go back in time right now, it probably would have been really smart for us to not both be on the Target list. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, but you panicked.
I panicked hard, and I should have tried to get another pre-order. I should have gone and pre-ordered something else and then canceled my Target pre-order. But
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm holding out hope that Target's all cool and we can roll on and be fine. But who knows what's going to happen? But anyway,
who knows in these tumultuous of times?
in the tumultuous of times. But this does kind of lead me into another story, another PSA that I want to give you, lovely folks. There is a third-party company that is already selling custom faceplates for the PS5. I forget if we talked about the PS5 breakdown that Sony did. I think we maybe mentioned it, but we didn't
Probably
really
just mentioned it.
We didn't really do a whole news story on it because it was very detailed. But they literally just tore the whole thing apart. And one of the first things I think a lot of people noticed was like the faceplates are designed to come off easily. They come completely off, and there's all this stuff like you can get to the fan and clean the fan easily so that it doesn't sound like a jet engine. There's all that sort of stuff that they kind of built into it. So, but my first thought, as soon as they took the plates off, I was like, oh man, they've got to be selling custom versions of that, right? Or at the very least, you could take those off, ship them to some Etsy artist and have them, and you could probably still do this, but ship it off and let them go crazy, do whatever kind of design you want. So I was really, really excited when I saw that. Now there is a company that is actually making these for you. So I'm trying to get to the name of the company. I'm sure if you just Google it, I've got a sweet kitten over here screaming at me to open a door. So give me a second.
Playing my mobile game while he does his thing.
I'm sorry. Okay, so let's see. Okay, wait a second. I'm just sitting here. Okay, so this is why it's confusing. The name of the company is PlayStation 5.
That's stupid.
And I read that about 3 times before I realized it said Plate Station, because my brain was breaking a little bit. I was like, did this company name themselves PlayStation 5? And I was like, how did they do that? Is that legal? What's going on? And so then it kind of registered like, nope, that's a T and an E, not a play, not a Y. So anyway, the plates are $39.99. By the way, these people are not affiliated with Sony, PlayStation, or the PlayStation 5 brand. They are just a company. They are people that made it. Anyway, there's black, there's blue, there's like this blood red, a silver, and then camo. I think they might have other colors, but I'm only no, it's just that 5 right now. But I tell you what, the black looks damn good. And I don't know if I'm gonna pay $39.99 for that, or if I'm just gonna rip them off and spray paint them black myself. But I'm convinced I'm doing something of the sort. You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, if you are one of the people who don't want the white, that's an option. Is that something you're interested in doing, Steven, or are you just gonna roll with it and say,
it would have to be
white?
It would have to be the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have to see one where I'm just like, ooh, that's super cool. But I mean, honestly, I probably will be swayed pretty quickly to change it out because it's big. It's very big, and it's going to be displayed somewhere, whether I like it or not.
That's quite. This is it's a light day. Let's talk this out a little bit, Steven. What is your plan for placement of your PS5? This is how exciting the news week has gotten. And the reason I ask is because I have seriously been thinking about this a lot, to the point that I've thought about it so hard that I've thought about getting a PC. Because in my brain, my setup that I'm in right now, this is my office where I do some editing, mostly channel editing. I do up here on my bigger computer, and then obviously I stream up here. And what I have is a Mac right here that is just like like a Mac screen. It's like the computers that are in the screen. You know what I mean? It's not like a, I don't have a screen and then a computer. And then I've got a monitor over here and then camera there, yada, yada. Anyway, and then I have a little chair, believe it or not, that's under my desk. This is where I put my PlayStation or my Switch, and I've got wires down there to plug it in, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. PS5 is going to be freaking huge. So I don't even know if it's going to fit under here. So my brain's been like, well, if I reconfigured my setup, I could put it up here. And I was just like, you know what? I can't really do that though with this Mac. And then I was like, I could get a PC. It was like, oh, if I get a PC, I could get this. So anyway, I've been racking my brain. I still don't really have a good answer, but you sound like you're going to display it.
I mean, the way my entertainment center's set up, it's probably going to sit on top.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind displaying it. And it gives me all the more reason to switch out the faceplates.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll probably do that.
I
don't know. And Anna may be like, hey, this thing is like the size of our dog, and we don't want that so visibly displayed because it looks awful. So let's do something else. And I'll be like, cool.
Can we please, when you get your system, can you please do a side-by-side comparison of size between your PlayStation 5 and Minnie and Flynn?
Minnie's gotten kind of big. I don't know when the last time you saw her was, but she's growing.
Really? Okay. Because she's been pretty tiny. And then obviously
she's classified as medium on dog costumes, which, hey, Light News Week. I got costumes for my dogs for Halloween.
Very excited about them. You told me
I'm very
you were
excited.
Sworn to secrecy and couldn't show me.
I was sworn to secrecy. I can't because Anna's like, no, we got to wait till Halloween. It's going to be a whole thing. Everyone's going to see them. We're going to be famous. Our dogs are going to be famous. We're going to get lots of sponsorships and money from Sony because we'll be able to pinky swear that we're not going to open the box.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's how you know that it's a real thing, is if the pinky swear is involved.
That is the only legally binding.
Is the legally binding finger.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. So be on the lookout for some PS5 action this week. Definitely going to be some exciting stuff. We are weeks away, ladies and gentlemen. Next generation is coming. But speaking of the next generation, Steven, let's talk about the next generation of Uplay Plus. Which is changing to Ubisoft Connect.
That is my understanding.
Walk me through this. What is the exciting bits of this change?
All right. So when you say walk me through this to somebody, it implies that you've been through it before. So let's change that. Let's pivot that a little bit to take a walk with me through this.
Take a walk with me through that story, Steven.
Okay, so Uplay Plus, for those who don't know, is, well, I guess Uplay overall. Uplay Plus is the service. Uplay is the application, I guess, if you want to say that. It's the hub through which all Ubisoft games go through. Think Steam or Epic Games Launcher or whatever else.
This is just for. It's not just for PC though, right? Because you have to log into.
It is just for PC.
But I have to log into UBS.
That is.
I keep wanting to say UBS, USB.
That is.
I'm getting all
Ubisoft Club, I think.
You're right.
Which it has been called Uplay in the past, and I think they changed it to Ubisoft Club, and now they're like, no one understands what we are, so let's just make it all one thing. So gotcha. Uplay is becoming Ubisoft Connect, and it is kind of incorporating again Uplay with Ubisoft Club. It's all going to be under one thing, and it's called Ubisoft Connect. And I can just read the article if you want me to. It's not terribly long.
Sure.
I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Introducing Ubisoft Connect, the future of our desktop app. Ubisoft Connect links players and services on Ubisoft games across all platforms, and it's launching on October 27th, 2020. It is the unification and improvement of Ubisoft Club, our loyalty program, and Uplay, our desktop app, across all platforms. It aims at giving the best environment for all players to enjoy their games and connect with each other, whatever the device. For all you PC players out there, don't worry, our PC desktop app isn't going anywhere, just evolving. Uplay has come a long way, and Ubisoft's Connect is the latest step in providing the best experience for our community. So let's talk a bit more about what's happening now. The first step in transforming the app into Ubisoft Connect will be with the all new overlay. Ubisoft Live games, old and new, will be compatible with Ubisoft Connect services and loyalty programs. Some of these titles include Hyperscape, Division 2, For Honor, and Ghost Recon Breakpoint, with Rainbow Six Siege being added in an update shortly after release. And then you can visit a link for all of the supported games. Ubisoft Connect will also be included in all major upcoming Ubisoft games, with Watch Dogs Legion being the first to use its features across all platforms. For older titles, some Ubisoft Connect services will be applicable, such as stats and smart intel for games, as well as leaderboards. The challenge system, however, will be inactive. Due to the nature of the challenge system, we're offering all the rewards available on these back catalog games, meaning you receive more than 1,000 rewards for free. You can find the list of these titles here. So just to stop for a second, you know how whenever you play a Ubisoft game through Ubisoft Club, you were able to open it up and be like, okay, what rewards can I get for my Ubisoft Club points?
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like all games prior to now, everyone's just getting all of those rewards unlocked for free.
Dang. That's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal because that includes a lot of stuff for games, but as well as like other stuff like I think some soundtracks and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool.
And wallpapers and concept stuff.
The step towards a new global approach with Ubisoft Connect will have a number of great benefits for our PC players, benefits that increase the versatility of socializing in their gaming, from cross-platform progression to comparing progress with friends on different platforms. It's going to be even easier to connect with others no matter where they are playing. You can even import friends if they have a first-party account on another platform, ensuring no one is left behind. There's also going to be a companion app. So just simply search Ubisoft Connect on the App Store or Google Play. So what does this mean for the desktop app specifically? Nothing too drastic. You'll find that the app for launching your games has a new gaming and new overlay for certain games that will be rolled out over time, but the features that exist currently in the app will be retained. We have more information in the coming days, so keep your eyes peeled. However, to deliver the experience we want with Ubisoft Connect, there are some features that are missing from the PC overlay, namely the chat and settings. Both of these are still fully available from the app itself, and we're blah 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 blah. So the interesting thing about this is that when you hear the way they talk about all this stuff, and I'm going to open up the frequently asked questions so I can see if they did address it. I am now a ghost because the screen just shot me in the face with light. So you think crossplay,
right?
You think, cool, we're headed towards PlayStation gamers playing with Xbox gamers on Uplay games or Ubisoft games. Did they mention crossplay in that once?
I didn't hear crossplay. I heard cross progression, which is something I'm very excited about, and I do want to touch on. But
yeah, I'm excited for cross progression. But for me, crossplay needs to happen. Like if you're gonna tote this kind of thing, it's for most people, it's like, okay, cool. Can I crossplay? And they're like, no. Then most people are like, who cares? So I don't know. I think they kind of need to say this is coming, but not yet, or something. I don't know.
Hopefully that is a goal and something they're working towards with that program. But the thing that's most exciting for me out of that is cross progression. Which, and it's fun. I don't know why I like it, because I really like the idea. What I like, here's what it is. I like the idea of traveling and playing a game without having my system, whether that be playing the mobile version of that game or playing in the cloud somehow. I really like the idea of just that ease of jumping in. I'm doing my little thing, and then I'm getting out. And then when I come home, I can have like my better from console, from computer experience. So I really like the idea of cross progression being that, oh, hey, there's a mobile version of that, or I can play, let's say this way, let's say Stadia, Ubisoft and Stadia are working really well together right now. If I had a Stadia account and wanted to play Watch Dogs there, but then when I got home, I know you could put it on your TV through Stadia, but if I wanted to use my PS5 and go all that way, I just like that stuff. I think that's the headline that I read about this article was just that they were going to make this a standard of having all games have cross progression through their system.
Yes. And that's really good, because I can't tell you how many times I have been like, I think I would rather play Division 2 on PC, or how many times I've debated, do I even care to get Assassin's Creed Watch Dogs Legion on PlayStation 4, or should I just play it on PC now, then get it on PS5?
Right.
So now I can just, because my whole thing was like, I knew I would want to play it on PC at night, probably. But now it's like, I don't have to play two different versions.
That's right. You can just get it. And which,
so yeah. Question. I want your thoughts on this.
I have no thoughts.
I'm a subscriber to, okay. Well, moving on. I'm a subscriber to Uplay Plus. Uplay Plus. How
much is that a month, by the way? I'm just curious.
I think it's like 15. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But if subscribers of Uplay Plus get access to all DLC.
Oh, okay.
Does that mean, since there's cross progression, does that mean I now own all DLC on PS4 titles?
Well, so now here is that is a very interesting question, because you said a second ago, I don't have to pick which version I buy. I can do both. I think you have it backwards. I am assuming here. Well, no, because as a subscriber to Uplay, you get the game as part of that, right? It's kind of like Xbox Game Pass, where first-party titles come to.
Literally every Ubisoft game is in a library. You can play them.
That is an interesting question. My instinct
is that if you tried to hop over to your PlayStation and access DLC content, it would tell you that you didn't have it.
Oh man, that would be my assumption. But you're logging in now with your PS on your console. You're logging into this account, correct?
Yep. And so if it's linked to an account, you would think that it's a workaround from having to buy DLC. You're still subscribing. You're still paying for Uplay Plus.
Exactly.
But
I think that would be really crappy if you're paying for this service that is providing you a game, and are you getting Watch Dogs through this service on your console?
No.
I don't think it's going to work then.
I didn't think so.
It'd
be great if I did. But well, let's think about that. That's a better question to ask.
It wouldn't make sense to me for them to give you, hey, you're paying for this service. Here is your game and all this DLC, but you can only use the DLC. You can only do it on this one console. Be that PC or the console.
Well, I mean, that's what Game Pass does. Because having Game Pass for PC is not the same as having Game Pass for Xbox.
Right, but okay. So
I feel like I broke your brain.
So I'm just thinking through here, because obviously there's probably not cross progression there, but if you don't have an Xbox anymore, right? You sold that.
No, it's over there. No one will buy it.
Have you? Have you tried?
Suck it, Phil.
So all right. Let me back this up. So you have Game Pass, right? Do you still have that service?
I still have Game Pass. Still love it. Don't really use it much right now.
Do you log into the same account on your PC that you do on that Xbox?
Yep.
Do you? I don't fully know how this works. I assume, is it like with PS Plus where once you download something, you have it? And as long as you're a subscriber, you've got it.
Well, you download it. But with Games Pass, they can remove it.
Okay.
But not with Uplay, because it's their entire library.
Gotcha. I guess what I'm asking is if you downloaded, let's just say Watch Dogs, because that's what we're talking about here theoretically. If you downloaded Watch Dogs on your PC through Games Pass and you were playing that, obviously, if you were to jump to your Xbox, you probably wouldn't have cross progression. But you would have to. But would you have Watch Dogs? Obviously, if Watch Dogs is on the service, you should be able to download it to both, but it's not cross progression.
Why wouldn't it be cross progression if we're talking new Watch Dogs?
I'm sorry. I'm talking about theoretically I'm talking about Xbox Game Pass right now. Because I don't think.
Well,
I know with Ubisoft Connect, based on what they're talking about with this cross progression thing, obviously, if you're playing it on the PC and then you download it on your Xbox, you'll have that cross progression there.
So funny thing about that, I'm pretty sure, because I didn't get Uplay Plus until after I'd already purchased Assassin's Creed Unity and Rogue. I got them cheap. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I open them in Steam, it sends me to Uplay.
Mm-hmm.
It opens them through Uplay. So playing games on Games Pass and Steam that are Ubisoft technically doesn't launch them through Games Pass. It launches them through Uplay, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My brain is bad. This is something that like we really can't answer this until we have the service and have the games that we're thinking about
like
here.
Because the question I have now is like, if they are truly like, and I think the answer is no, but it's an interesting one to pose nonetheless. If they are truly moving towards like connecting the community and everything, and of course they clarified desktop app, all that stuff. But does this mean we could be pushing towards Uplay Plus extending to console? That'd be fantastic, but I don't think it is.
That's what it sounded like it was. It sounded like it's expanding this. I mean, yeah, it sounds like it is expanding it to consoles because it said cross progression with consoles.
Right, but Uplay Plus,
but are you
as
getting
a service,
your games through that service? That's the question.
That's the question, and I think the answer is no.
Okay.
If it's yes, then well done, Ubisoft. Seriously, because that would be fantastic. Because Uplay Plus, $15 a month is too expensive. I got a deal on it, and that's why I had it for long, and I never canceled it because the deal stopped. I think last month or the month before, and Watch Dogs is coming, and Assassin's Creed's coming.
They did that just right.
Yeah. So I haven't canceled it yet because of those things, but $15 a month for one game library. And I know Ubisoft has a vast library, but still that's a lot to expect people to keep paying just to play their games
on PC.
Like, but if you extended that to console, I think that'd pretty much make it probably not quite worth it.
Right.
But it would definitely help.
Yeah.
Because Watch Dogs Legion is a game that I want to play with Anna able to watch because she loves the British people. She loves London. It's her happy place.
She likes the British people.
So I want her to be able to watch and be like, oh, cool. There's this or that.
Oh, wait, got
yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, though, because I don't want to have to purchase Legion
twice
on PlayStation. I don't have to purchase it once when I'm already paying for it.
Right.
Through Uplay Plus.
That's really confusing. And I'm shocked that they haven't from the get-go had that service working on consoles as well. But
right.
I guess they probably were testing it a little bit with PC and now expanding it, kind of like you said. But anyway, I don't know. It sounds like it's going to work at the very least.
They'll probably make an Assassin's Creed game that's a simulator of playing Uplay Plus on console just to see if it'll work, because Ubisoft can't do anything without testing it.
That's what the assassin character in Watch Dogs Legion is going to do. They'll just be testing servers.
Her story missions are like, I'm trying to hack Ubisoft to make console games work, and she's going to look at the camera and be like, what do you think? And then she's going to pull out a pen and paper and click the pen and just start be ready to write down.
It's gonna give us.
What
a
do you
choice,
think, player?
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Wow, that would be funny to have a survey like that. There was
what a fourth wall break that would be,
right? I remember thinking that a little bit about that with Detroit, Become Human, of just like someone could really do like some sort of psychological analysis of the public by the people who played through this game, like whatever choices they made, or like, insert some real weird questions in the middle in there somewhere and see what they do. But anyway, I don't know.
Right.
I guess that would probably get thrown off because at some point people are going to be like, no, it's a game. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to see what it'll do. But, they're like, I never would act this way in real life, but I play games like I'm really there. But anyway, I digress.
That's all I do.
That's really all we got for the news. We just kind of rambled there a little bit for a while, and that's fine and fun, and we enjoy that. Let's talk about what we've been playing and watching this week, Steven. I have been I say rewatching. I finished New Girl, the whole series, and I hate that it's over. So I've been trying to look for another show to watch.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That is a good option, and I probably should try that at some point. But
there's a crossover episode with New Girl.
There is, I remember, and I remember being like, "Oh, this is a weird crossover," and it happened for like it was one episode, it was 30 minutes. It was not. It was a
huge gimmick that really shouldn't have been sold as a crossover episode because it basically didn't matter and it was completely pointless.
Nothing mattered. Nobody really did anything. It was just, oh, hey, look, there's that character from that show. Oh, look.
That's exactly how it happened on Brooklyn Nine-Nine's side as well.
Yeah. So, it would be interesting to watch. Anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about something. Oh, yeah. So I've jumped back into The Good Place, which is I highly recommend, really, really funny, really endearing show with
Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
Thank you. Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. I was coming out with Kristen Stewart, and I was like, that is not right. I know the Kristen's right. I can't get the right last name, though. Anyway, really good show. Really enjoying that. And then, of course, we've been playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends. I still love it. I'm still having a great time. We are really close to raid ready, Steven.
I am raid ready.
Steven is raid ready. I'm 103. I've just got to get a good sword. I probably could just reforge a sword and be ready to go. But we are getting very close. That is coming out October 30th.
Did you know that when you reforge an item, you can still change one quality on an item?
I did. Yeah. As I understand it, and this is coming from me who has not attempted to reforge anything yet. I've just watched videos about best hunter builds and kind of been planning my build for when I get, pretty high level gear, which I guess I'm getting close to that point anyway. Yeah, you can you can reforge one thing if you want. So
yeah, you can reforge one thing, but even after doing that, you can still reforge the whole item as many times as you want. That's different from how Division does it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good change.
I feel like they just nailed this game, and in every way. The only thing that's missing is more content,
and the fact that most legendaries are absolute garbage. That's pretty frustrating.
I mean, well, I guess the skipping stone longbow is kind of the standout, right? Everyone's talking about that one.
It's the only. Well, that's not true. I like the Master Sword.
Right, that has all the.
I think that's a great legendary quality.
Mm-hmm.
The healing legendaries are great in concept, but they heal for so little that they may as well not exist.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a balance thing that they may just come back and kind of tweak that a little bit or
yeah. I hope they do, because I would love to be able to use the shared brew and that be my legendary, because it could be an effective burst heal, because right now my build does not have burst heal really. It's all heal over time.
Yeah.
And also, oh my God, fix the range on it. It sucks. I literally have to be kissing the shoulder of whatever ghost I want to heal, because Kenji's shared brew is so close range.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I do like the healing spirit dog though. Speaking of rough, That's a great one.
That's good.
And I think that one works pretty well. It's not a burst like you said, but
yeah,
it does heal pretty quickly once we're all standing around it. So
I'm going to make a second build that entertains the thought of using incense again, because I can up the radius and duration of incense through Ronin charms. And so I'm just thinking, like, I love the dog and I love having it in combat, but if I am running a healer, I need to be a healer. And be able to, because like the incense pot, the cooldown is much more generous, and the dog can get killed or it can run off. So I don't know.
I'm thinking about I know there was a perk at some point that I had on a bow that headshots would heal nearby allies. And I remember thinking that was really cool, especially from a range, healing at a range. But that requires a lot of skill to headshot
and it's
somebody
within the range of the person you kill, right?
Right. Yes. So like,
or it doesn't have to be a kill; it just has to be a headshot.
It just has. Well, that's a great question. I think it might just be a headshot, but if it was a kill on a headshot, then you can just throw that thing in the garbage, because especially when you get into gold and nightmare, ain't nothing's like one shot kill. I just did a survival match. Maybe once I have like top tier, because like I think right now the power cap is 110. Is that right? But you've got to like reforge it up to that.
Or play Nightmare.
Maybe.
Which,
maybe if I have 110, I could get a one headshot on a gold level. But like, I bet you once you get into Nightmare that it's not going to work that way. So whatever.
Oh, absolutely not. You've seen the health bars.
I've seen the health bars, believe me. So that's what I keep telling myself. Like, I obviously, the legendary I'm going to build around is the Skipping Stone bow, which does ricochet headshots. So like, if you hit somebody with a headshot, it hits another enemy with headshot damage. It shares
the headshot damage to the
I'm really excited about that one. But on these higher levels where no headshot is killing anybody, like it doesn't really help if I can hit 10 targets at once. If I'm not killing all 10 targets at once.
I'm able to one-shot kill guys with headshots on gold a little bit. But it's mostly like first 10 wave enemies. Like it's the ones without the helmets and more basic enemies. I'm
not killing anyone with a headshot in gold, but I am getting really, really close in gold. Like I'll hit a headshot, an archer with a headshot, and they'll have a sliver of health left.
I think you just need to, like, I assume you have a range charm equipped.
I really don't know.
That's the thing.
I'm still in the mindset of I'm equipping the highest level thing until I can't go any higher. This is my problem with these kind of games is, and I'm like this with every game. If I get into a game and there's multiple weapons, my brain goes, which one's the best? That one? Great. I'm not thinking until we have that. And so like if there's a master sword or there's some, super special weapon, like my goal will be to get that. And then once I have that, I'll start thinking about how to play the game. Because for me, until I have that, it doesn't, like, just play however you can, because you can't do what you want until you get that.
Right.
So I am, and these kind of games of service where you're constantly either dismantling or reforging something. For me, it's like, I'm going to just wait till like, I only am going to have to reforge it once or twice, and then I'll figure out what I want. So I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, the most important piece for your build, aside from the bow, we already know what the bow is going to be, is going to be your charm.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for a good ranged charm.
Yeah. Yeah. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos on builds, and I found a build that I really like, that is built around the Skipping Stone. But I'm just going to modify it a little bit to emphasize fire. So my goal is going to be to set people on fire and shoot headshots as best as I can.
So if you shoot somebody with a fire arrow headshot, does it share the fire to everyone with the Skipping Stone?
Yes.
That's stupid.
Well, so here's the thing. if I use my ultimate to get however many headshots that's going to end up being, you can, if I had it upgraded to where I get 5 headshots with that specialty, that would obviously give me 10 headshots. But my goal is, once I have that, I'm going to put that skill towards something else. So I'll just be getting 3 headshots, which gives me 6 headshots, which is basically the same as what I'm doing right now without the skipping stone. But anyway, those are just normal arrows. I mean, obviously they're very powerful, and they're headshots, but they're not fire arrows. But if I have a fire arrow and I hit somebody with a headshot, that will burn the other person that it hits.
So if you hit somebody in the head with an explosive arrow, does it hit the nearby person with an explosion?
Now that is a question. You would think, Steven, yes.
No, you wouldn't think. That's too much. Like, at that point, it says, I don't know how it says it, but the way I read it when I first read it was that damage is dealt to a nearby enemy. So to me, it's too much to say that literally the arrow copies itself over to the nearest enemy, because that's too powerful. That's too much.
It's skipping.
I'm over here.
Bow, right?
Yes. I'm over here.
Ricochet.
RICOCHET. I think. I'm over here with my Kenji shared brew or whatever, drinking a little healing thing that heals me for like maybe a third of my health. And if you guys are kissing my shoulder, you guys get it too. Cool. It's useless. Exotics sorry, wrong game. Legendaries kind of suck, except for a few outliers.
I'm looking through a Reddit thread right now to see if I can find if that works.
I hope it doesn't. Sorry. That's too much.
Okay, I don't see it. So the person that got it flagged for me was they said they were like, you can ricochet arrows and shoot an explosive. I'm like, why would you pick any other class or something? So anyway, I'm very excited to do all that. But Steven, you've been playing with me. Obviously, we're having a great time. We've had a great discussion here talking about it. But I know you've been playing a little bit of Division this weekend, and you guys were trying out the new Summit mode. They've made some changes there. Is there any you want to talk about that? Any exciting?
I mean, just to kind of explain how it works, because I mean, back when I explained, hey, Division's coming out with a skyscraper mode, and the way I explained it, you probably thought it was something along the lines of, okay, you climb a tower from floor 1 to 100. As you climb, it gets progressively more difficult. You have checkpoints along the way, but ultimately your goal is get to 100 and beat it, right? That's kind of how you heard how I described it, I assume. Well, that's not what they made when it came out. It's nowhere close, because what they made was fun, but ultimately it was, okay, you've got this skyscraper, right? Well, we pick the difficulty for you based on how high up on the skyscraper you are. So 1 to 31 or 1 to 30 is normal mode. So pointless mode, basically. And then, no, 1 to 20, then 21 to 30 is hard. 31 to 40 is challenging. Like, it would progress higher to where like 50 to whatever was challenging or heroic. It was so confusing. And they made it to where you had to have directives active. So when you're trying to play it, it's random whether or not you were screwed. Because if you're running a build that uses LMGs and ammo hoarders is activated, guess what? You're screwed. You have to switch builds.
Right.
Now, this is the change that they've made is that the experience is floor 1 to 100. When you leave, You have a checkpoint every third floor, basically, which is kind of how it worked. But you pick the global difficulty going in, which means if you want to play the whole thing on heroic, you can go in on heroic. Fantastic. Also, you can activate directives that you want. And the incentive is you get better loot chances, the more direct and experience, the more directives you have active.
That's cool.
Also, you get to pick your targeted loot. Just you open up the map and you say, yeah, you can say, I want to look for assault rifles. And the game's like, cool. While you're in Summit right now, you can look for assault rifles. And it's so easy that you literally open the map. I could find the assault rifle I want now, and I could be like, cool, check that off my list. I open up the map, hit targeted loot, and I say, I want SMGs now. And the game's like, got it. That's going to be your targeted loot.
That's really cool.
Yes, it is a fantastic change because now they actually are able to give the player the experience of progressing from 1 to 100 because the threat scaling goes up the higher you get. So more enemies, more challenging enemies, all that kind of stuff, rather than just, okay, well, you're on floor 81, so now you're on legendary, which means you have to fight White Tusk, which means you're screwed. Have fun. Bye.
Right.
Like that's how it was. I beat floor 100 how it used to be. McCoy and I played it. We two-manned it with pistol builds.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how cool we are. But we beat floor 100, and it like getting to floor 100 was really cool. The boss fight was cool, even though I hated it. But this is much better because it's like, one, they simulate the experience. It makes sense that like it's skyscraper floor 1 to 100. It's accessible to where players can be like, this is what I can handle, or this is what I feel like handling, which is great. And there is so much incentive now because no matter what targeted loot is selected for that day, if I don't see what I'm looking for on the map, or I need SMGs and it's at DARPA Research Labs, which I would rather lose a foot than play DARPA Research Labs on any given day. I could just be like, no, screw you, DARPA. I'm going to go to the Summit and I'm going to set my targeted. It's fantastic. I really love the change. So props to them for it's weird because this seems so obvious. Like it's exactly what we all thought we were getting. And then they tried something different with the launch and everybody was like, we hate this, change it. And they were immediately like, okay, yeah, here's what it is.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, fantastic. I love it. I think it's great.
It's weird how that stuff like that happens, you know, where, and I'm sure it's a top level person who's just like, no, let's do it this way. You know, because I think this is going to work better, or this is going to make us more money somehow.
Right.
So that's crazy though. I'm glad they fixed it. The picking
it's a really good mode
thing
now.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I was surprised that they did that, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Chortlecast. We do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, there's a couple things you can do to help us out. Number one, if you're watching on YouTube, you're already at chortlegames.com. You can like this video, share it with friends, leave us a comment, all that good stuff. If you're watching on Facebook, you can like this video there. That's at Chortle Games on Facebook. Like the video, share it, comment, all that fun stuff. We are also, the podcast goes to Apple Podcasts. You can watch us there. We'd love it if you could leave us a review on that service. That really helps people find the podcast. And then if you don't like any of those services, we are also on Twitter and Twitch. So Twitter is at Chortle Games on Twitter, and Twitch is twitch.tv/Chortle_games. But only our live streams air on our podcast doesn't go there. Our podcast airs on YouTube and Facebook and Apple Podcasts at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time on every Monday. But we live stream to those three places except for the podcast. We just go to YouTube and Facebook, and then Twitch and Twitter. That's where we live stream. When do we live stream? We live stream usually Thursdays,
whenever we
Fridays.
feel like it.
Whenever we feel like it, ultimately. But usually we try to keep it to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This week, lots of stuff popping off. We've got Watch Dogs Legions launching on the 29th, so Thursday of this week. Steven is going to be streaming that. Steven is very excited.
I am.
I keep forgetting how excited you are about this one.
I'm pumped. It's gonna be great.
You're just excited about building a team, right? That's
pretty much. I don't care, but like I do care about the story, but like I'm just excited for
the potential.
I'm excited for the potential. This game could mean a lot. Like it's Ubisoft innovating again.
Mm-hmm.
I have missed that for so long, and this is like to the degree of when we first saw Watch Dogs at E3 or first saw Division at E3, to where it's like, wow, this is really cool and exciting, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. That's kind of how I feel about Legion.
Mm-hmm.
They could either drop the ball hard or they could blow my mind. And honestly, based on, unless if Ubisoft has paid off literally everybody that's gotten to play Legion, it sounds like they didn't drop the ball, at least. They may not blow my mind, but I'm ready to be at least a little impressed.
I'm just curious how deep it's gonna go, because I agree with you. It's been a big splash, but how much water is really in that puddle? You know what I mean? Is it just a big puddle?
You stole that. You stole that from my Watch Dogs script.
Maybe.
You did.
So
wow.
Wow. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm really curious how deep it's gonna go and all that. But I'm excited. Yeah. But I'm glad. Like we were talking about, okay, who's gonna stream it? And Steven was like, I am. I'm gonna do it.
Jake's words were, "It's not one that I want to fight over," and I said, like, "I'll fight you."
I'm not fighting over it. So that's, you go right ahead. But then,
I demand a fight.
Then Friday, very exciting. The Ghost of Tsushima Legends raid will be dropping. Unfortunately, I have made prior plans, so I am actually, Friday is dicey for me. I know, I'm so mad. Friday is dicey for me, so we might do like chapter 1 of the raid or something Friday afternoon. It would be an earlier stream, like between 3:30 to maybe 5. So it may not even be long enough to do the raid. Who knows? I mean, you can barely do a survival round in an hour, so.
Speaking for the community, though, if I may, guys, I'm going to speak for you down there in the chat. Hey, future Steven. I think that if we can fit it in there without like straining about it, even if all we get to do is just kind of experience what the raid is for an hour, I think everybody would prefer to see that than us not do anything at all.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that.
Okay.
I think they would agree with that as well. So we're gonna make a very concerted effort to try and make that happen. If not, though, we will probably do a stream of that next Tuesday or something. The earliest convenience that we can double down and go through that. So we probably ought to get a third and a fourth ready for that, Steven.
Got Walter, got Kalen. There you go.
There you go. It's done. All right. Good deal. Got that.
I just called them.
They've been called. They're assembling now.
You know what? So, they've been on the call this whole time.
Surprise!
Hey, it's me, Kalen. Hey, it's me, Walter.
Guys, great Walter impression. A really
it's
really
me, Aku, shape-shifting.
Not your best Aku, but I know you can do better, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Saturday is probably also going to be Steven streaming because I'm going to be out of town. But we're going to have a lot of fun this weekend. I'm assuming it's going to be more Watch Dogs because you're going to want to. You're probably going to play Watch Dogs Friday too after we.
Probably so. Let's hope so. The way you said that was like the way a mom or dad talks to their son that doesn't want them to go, like leave. The way they talk to them when they leave them with like their grandmother. Like, you guys are going to have a lot of fun here. Like, me and your mom are going to go here, but you guys are going to have fun here.
You guys are going to have a great time.
It'll be a great time. So I'm apparently the channel's grandmother, apparently.
No, I just feel bad. You know, it's my one weekend off. Next weekend, you and I are going to both be in Disney. Who knows how that's going to work?
And it's never a weekend off with the boy who found his sunglasses.
It's never a
dull moment. So it really is. I prefer making time with like anything time off. You can ask Anna. It's almost probably frustrating to be married to me because of how much, like how off we feel because I just never want to do anything ever. So it's always time off when you're with the guy who found his sunglasses.
All right, it's gotten too real now, ladies and gentlemen. We got to cut the stream. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you on the streams this week. Be good to each other. We'll see you later. Bye.